Right then, this is a quick walk around video and it's for a Honda CR-V 2-litre executive manual. As you can see here, finished in silver, full black leather interior and with 84,000 miles on the clock. Car's a 56 plates but 2007 registered, and it is in absolutely brilliant condition. It's very, very rare to find one of this age that's been kept as well as this one. It really is a credit to its former keepers. Come around the front of the car, I can't see any obvious marks on the front bumper there at all. Lights and lenses completely clear, intact. Offside front bumper corner, absolutely clean as a whistle. Bonnet itself, I mean, it's hard to see a stone chip of any note anywhere on there. I'm sure a magnifying glass will find one or two, but you're going to have to look very, very, very hard for them. Near side of the car first, near side bumper corner again, absolutely clean as a whistle, and the panels there, as you can see, completely smooth, no blemishes that I can see or obvious ones at all. Coming down, near side front alloy, the one that takes all the bashing, is absolutely unmarked. And then to continue down, the panel work here really is an extraordinary car. It's not even polished, it's just been washed off. It's exactly as you see it. Near side rear alloy, again really good, just the tiniest amount of curbing right on top of the wheel there, but nothing that detracts from the car in any way, shape or form. Coming around the back of the vehicle, again all really, really lovely. Hard wheel cover again, all intact and there on the back of the car, no marks in there at all, no accidental sort of parking dinks or anything there. And then to come around the off side of the vehicle, which as with the near side, is absolutely incredibly clean, it really is. Offside rear alloy, completely unmarked, and then the remaining panels are absolutely stunning. It's not to say, as I always point out, that there will be the odd little mark that the eye hasn't picked up or the camera hasn't spotted. I do try, but I do have to take into account the car's age and mileage. But this one is wonderfully clean, and then the final alloy again in absolutely amazing condition. So overall, we're looking at one of the very nicest CR-Vs on the marketplace currently, in my personal opinion. Coming into the back of the car now, big hinged rear door of course, and a quite enormous boot area. It really is. Obviously the seats fold in a 60-40 split, and they tumble forward to operate, give you an even bigger load area. Rear seats are also on runners, so you can pull them backwards and forwards with passengers in situ to increase the boot space still further. But it's all again in really, really, really good condition back here. Coming into the back of the car, this, if anything, it's not the Achilles heel as such, because that's not fair on the car. Any car this type that's a family car, quite often I see with CR-Vs, they can look quite nice on the outside, but when you look inside, especially on these rear seats and the back of the front seats, they can be quite bashed about because kids basically sitting in the back of them and doing what kids do, same as mine. But this one has been given the lightest of use. It's in absolutely wonderful condition back there. Front passenger door card, again absolutely fantastic condition, including all the little recesses. Footwell area is really clean, and front passenger seat there has given just hardly any use at all. It's put anywhere on the seat. Driver's door card, again in absolutely fantastic condition. Likewise footwell areas, and driver's seat itself again, and with just I mean, it's nowhere at all, it's just basically people get in and out. It's quite normal there, but I mean it's one of the best driver's seats I've seen in terms of condition on this age and vintage. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section so you can see the dashboard illuminated. I'm just going to pan across the dashboard, and I'm going to pick up on the one thing on this car which you really do need to know about. It's not vital, far from it, but it's worth telling you. I'll come straight to it here. Sat-nav system. It says on there, DVD disc is reading error. It's one of the most common things you'll see on a CR-V of this age and vintage. This is a very early sat-nav system, which is absolutely archaic by modern standards. Worth pointing out, the radio and CD work absolutely perfectly on the car. There's no issues with those at all. They're perfect. generally isn't the DVD disc that's the problem. It's actually the little laser that reads the discs on these. It could be a disc, but all my experience of these cars, I highly doubt it, because I've got exactly the same issue with my own personal CRV, which is the same model as this. You can get them fixed, and you can get it working. It costs a couple £100 these days, so it's not overly dear, but that buys you actually a very good sat nav of your own. The problem is, if you fix them, you're still going to have the same problem, because it'll happen again. And also you still have the same very old sat nav system with the old maps, because the maps run off a disk system and they're expensive to buy. Personally, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole, but I'll leave that up to the individuals. But we are honest and we tell you if there's any issues, and that's the only one there. But it said it doesn't affect the drive of the car in any way, shape or form. Coming down the dashboard, climate control system there, obviously. Cool box, so you can keep things cool in the centre box there, if you're a truckaholic a bit like me. Gear lever and the surround all in lovely condition, and in the centre here you get this little table. You pull a lever there, it just drops down out the way. It's such a clever little design, it really is. And then coming across the main dashboard binnacle, hopefully companion there for you, 84,773 miles. As you can see there with the engine running, there's no warning lights at all on the dashboard, but it is in absolutely brilliant condition in here. It really is. As I said, you can be hard pushed to find a better one in terms of overall condition. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre Executive. This particular car is registered MW56ZCU, and mileage at the start of the road test is 84,768 miles. Reason for doing the road test is very simple. We basically want customers to see the cars we're advertising actually in operation. That way, you know, when you're sitting and looking at a car on Auto Trader, you know, don't just see it in stationary pictures, you actually see it in operation. It gives us opportunity to let you know of any issues there might be with the car. We just feel it's right as a company, it's the way we operate our business, to let you know of any faults or any issues with the car before you come to us. That way, you know, you can make up your own mind if you obviously want to make the trip. It's rare that there's any issues, but you know, they are brought up. The road test is also done on exactly the same roads locally as the road test will go on, or part of it at least, so hopefully it'll be representative of what you feel yourself. So coming to the car, obviously from the service history, it's been very well maintained, and it, you know, as I say in previous videos, it certainly feels like it. Engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There's no fluctuations at all when stationary. But it's the way the engine operates in daily use. It's just a lovely, sweet, refined, flexible engine. You can pull from very low revs all the way around to nearly 7,000 revs on the red line if you really want to. It's just got a real broad band of power, but it's just so smooth in operation. It really is. Obviously cam chain driven, there's no cam belts on these cars, so no big services ever looming on them, and they have by a country mile the best reliability record in its class compared to any manufacturer or competitor, and for longevity as well. They're incredibly long lasting. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the vehicle for that matter. Engine, by the way, has been running for some time now, at temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car as well. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch, bite point is exactly where it should be. And again, as we say on the videos, we are critical. Although it's a fairly minor thing, it's a little bit of a squeak on the clutch pedal when it's in and out. It's probably could do with a little bit of lubrication, but you know, it is sort of a little bit there. So it is the point of doing these things. But the actual biting of the clutch and everything is exactly as you'd expect it to be on the car. Clutch then feeds through into the manual gearbox, and typical of Honda, it's a lovely gear change, very short in throw, snappy in action, got a lovely mechanical feel to it, They do these so well. Almost, they don't really need to make that gearbox as good as it is in operation. But you know, they're sort of engineering fanatics, and I love it for that. But they can't find anywhere in the gearbox at all. It's absolutely perfect. Steering of the car, real strong point, tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And it just feels, it's an old generation power steering system, which I love. It's proper hydraulic power steering, so you get genuine feel and weight to the steering, and it just suits the car perfectly. It makes the car feel really nice and solid and secure on the road. And as I said, I can't detect any wear in it at all. Same goes for the chassis, because what I'm looking for on the test drives is just kind of any noises coming from underneath the car that shouldn't actually be there. So you'll hear it sort of thud into a bump, but you shouldn't get any metallic sort of rattlings or anything from underneath or knocking noises, and there's nothing from the car at all. What that doesn't tell you is just how comfortable, of course, the car is. Very, very well judged chassis. It's very composed to the corners. It holds its line beautifully. You don't get that sort of heave-ho effect that you can get in some taller SUVs. I mean, basically, this is, for the manufacturer, the CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world. So Honda know exactly what the customers want, and they know they're not trying to make a sports car out of this car in any way, shape, or form. And what they've done is done a really good job of finding a really nice compromise for a really good family car that gives secure, positive handling, but also a very, very comfortable ride indeed. So, just going to give the brakes a bit of a shove in a second. Just wait for no one's behind me. It's a really good brake pedal on the car. Again, what I'm looking for on brake test is basically that the front of the nose of the car goes down straight. It doesn't pull violently left or right. But also that the brake pedal itself, when applied, there's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing on this car. Looking around inside the car, again, videos cannot get across, when a car is as well built as this. I mean, we are talking about a car, of course, that's 11 years old or so, 12 years old, and it just feels rock solid in here. There's not a hint of a squeak or a buzz. Everything feels really solid, and it is in absolutely brilliant condition, as you'll know from the walk around video. It really is. It's lovely in here as well to operate the car from. Great driving position, brilliant visibility. You can see to the end of the bonnet on the car. Looking at inside the car, obviously I've already mentioned the sat nav and the walk around part of the video to you, but all the switches, everything's working exactly as it should. Instrument gauges are lovely. They're typical Honda, dead simple, easy to take the information in, and all working absolutely perfectly. And of course, this is the later version, so it's got the revised interior with the revised dials, which looks so nice on the car. Cruise control, just setting that, works absolutely perfectly as well. Now, obviously these are four-wheel drive vehicles, but on Honda, again, they're really rather good at this. They know that the vast majority of people who buy these cars will do what I'm doing today, driving the car in perfectly good conditions on perfectly good road surfaces. So why bother having the car running in four-wheel drive the whole time, as a lot of cars do, when you don't need it? Because all you're going to do is use up your tyres, use more fuel, and put a lot of mechanical wear through the car. So what this does, it runs in front-wheel drive as any normal car would. Only as and when the front wheels start to slip and lose grip will it then introduce the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and it's absolutely seamless. There's no buttons to press, no switches to apply, or levers or anything like that. It's all done for you, and it turns off almost as quickly. It really is very clever and effective, by the way. I mean, I've got a CR-V myself, which I use to tow a caravan. Of course, some pretty muddy pitches, and I've never come close to getting stuck in one, and we've been up in the snow in them and all sorts, so it is a very, very good system indeed. So as I said at the start of the video, the point is to just really show you the car in operation. The car drives absolutely beautifully. It really, really does. It just feels solid as a rock. It's a wonderful, wonderful car. Having said that, if I missed something on the video, please don't hesitate. Do give us a call.